Welcome! In this video we are going to consider a global or large-scale scenario for the bio-based logistics. As per usual, I will start with the general view on the scenario, then describe the inputs, the processes, the outputs, and conclude with the logistical issues related to the scenario. The global scenario concerns the large-scale cross-border supply and disposal of bioproducts, as well as large-scale treatment. Being an element of the global trade, products at this level are standardized biocommodities that are very uniform in quality and composition. This uniformity facilitates equality in prices, even though they may vary depending on the region of origin of a commodity. The input at this level is pretreated biomass. Actually, it is often not biomass anymore, but chemical compounds obtained from biomass. These bio-based compounds are called biocommodities and can be used as building blocks by the chemical industry. As I have already mentioned, this input is of a rather homogeneous composition and high energy density. Year-round supply is another inherent characteristic. However, it needs proper coordination. Treatment of the biocommodities at this level includes all kinds of large-scale chemical processes. In many cases, biocommodities are counterparts of products from the petrochemical industry, so can be processed in the same way. This implies that well-developed technologies and equipment can be used, and this means in turn that global biocommodity flows can be fit into the existing infrastructure. Well, to a certain extent. Example of a biocommodity that fits well into existing infrastructure is succinic acid, produced by companies like BioAmber, Miriant, and Reverdia DSM. Storage becomes another important process within a global-scale bioprocessing facility. On one hand, it is necessary to store products waiting for processing and for further transportation. It can also be desirable to store products for speculation reasons, that is, to use market price fluctuations to one's benefit. On the other hand, preservability of the biocommodities is much higher than that of the raw biomass. In fact, for many biocommodities, perishability considerations are not relevant for storage-related decisions. There are, of course, exceptions, like some proteins. The outputs include products such as chemical components and fuels and energy, mostly in the form of electricity. Given the nature of outputs, they become inputs for chemical industry and energy and fuel providers in national and international markets. Due to similarity between biocommodities and their traditional counterparts, the existing infrastructure can be used. By infrastructure, I mean both the processing and storage facilities and transportation means. So, biocommodities can be transported via all modes available for long-distance transport of inexpensive goods, such as sea and inland waterways, railways, and trucks, to a lesser extent. Here in the picture, you see a large-scale biorefinery facility located at the port of Rotterdam. Notice how storage, processing, and transportation are all integrated within this area. Given the large volumes flowing at this level, capacity considerations become more important than it was, for example, in the regional scenario. This has implications not only for the processing facilities that need sufficient throughput to cope with the volumes passing through, but also for the storage facilities that need sufficient capacity for handling fluctuations in supply and demand, caused by factors as diverse as weather conditions, transportation network disruptions, seasonal effects, and market price fluctuations. What makes things even more complicated is that these factors are also interrelated. Finally, transportation infrastructure has to be adequate for the throughput. This implies in particular that most attractive locations for global-scale bioprocessing facilities lie in proximity to ports, railway, and road hubs. A multimodal transport hub offers opportunity for more efficient transportation. To conclude, the global scenario is focused on large cross-border flows of standardized biocommodities. To make handling of these commodities efficient, the capacity must be carefully planned and the location must be carefully chosen, with reliable access to several transportation modes. Moreover, coordination of both internal and external activities has to be arranged. Thank you for watching.